So nowadays, you can use your phone and your car to make a lot of money in the gig economy by doing side gigs like DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats. These are easy because you're really just picking up food at a restaurant and driving it to somebody's house. Now, you can also get more complicated and do things like Amazon Flex. This is where you use your car and you pick up packages from an Amazon warehouse and you actually deliver them to neighborhoods across your area. Now, if you're talking about delivering groceries and getting tips, there's things you can do like Instacart or Shipt. Now, Shipt and Instacart, they're a lot alike. You go to stores and you shop for groceries and then you deliver them to people's houses. You get paid a base rate plus tips that the customer leaves you. Now, all of this is a great way to make spot money, but you might be asking yourself, am I making profit doing this? So it's really important that you track your expenses. And most importantly is your vehicle expenses, and a lot of people just take the standard mileage deduction. And in 2025, that's 70 cents a mile, which is pretty significant. Now, what I want to walk you through in this video is a simple way to track your mileage, and I want to lay down some simple benchmarks for the minimum amount of money you should make while doing a side gig. You should always be focused on making sure that you make at least $1 per mile. Let's run through some basic scenarios of making $1 a mile. Now, I like to make $100 a day. It's one of my goals in order to meet my budget is to make $100 a day. Then I know how much I need to make per month to meet my budget. So in my first example, what we have is $100 a day. Now, we're assuming that you're going to make at a minimum $1 a mile. We're also going to assume how much gas I need to buy. I get 50 miles to the gallon. You should also know how many miles you get to the gallon. And so since I get that, driving my hybrid, I know that I'm only going to need 2 gallons worth of gas to actually pay for 100 miles. So that's only 2 gallons. That's about $6 worth of gas. So you can see in my expenses, I'm still only making about 50 bucks after I bring in my 100, after I pay my self-employment tax and I save for a new car replacement, my wear and tear and things like that. In fact, let me just run down the right side of that column. So you'll see the mileage deduction at 70 cents a mile. So I take $70 right off the top. That leaves me a net of $30. And then from that, I pay my self-employment tax off of $30. I take a new car replacement of 25 cents per mile plus maintenance on the car, and I subtract all of that from how much I made, and I end up with making about 50 bucks. Now let's tweak these numbers a little bit. Let's say, for example, you don't get 50 miles to a gallon. Let's say you only get 25 miles to the gallon. You can see how that would really influence it because instead of 2 gallons of gas, you need 4 gallons of gas. And then instead of paying $3 a gallon, what if you're paying $6 a gallon? Well, now obviously you can see that that's really starting to bite into your profit. And now, what if you're not making $1 a mile? What if you're only making 90 cents a mile? Look what happens if you can manage to make $2 a mile. It significantly increases your profit. Now, we're still assuming things like only driving 100 miles at making $2 a mile. I've always said that when people ask me how much money can you make at side gigs, you can make as much as you want, and it's directly related to how much you want to work. If you want to make $200 a day, that just means you're probably going to have to stay out on the road a lot longer. What do normal gig drivers make? We could look at what I made last year. I normally average more than $20 an hour, and I make much more than $1 per mile. Let's use what I made as an example. So if I made, I think one of those weeks was about $1.70 per mile, we punch that in, you can see how much more it ups the profit that you bring home. I think it's good to have a variety of options if you're going to go into this work. If an Amazon Flex is available to you, that's a great way to make money if you like to drive. So if you're interested in side gigs, I suggest you subscribe to my channel, or if you want to just check out some more videos before you make that commitment, there's some good ones here, a playlist and a recommended video. And I talk about things other than side gigs. I talk about early retirement, financial literacy, and things of that nature. So check it out. Thanks for watching. Side Gig Guy out.